Welcome to Shop Strategy, powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite offers some really neat tools like smart discount campaigns to help you boost sales, and you can actually test it out for free on your Shopify store.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so today we're tackling, a challenge basically every Shopify store owner runs into. How do you consistently bring in customers and, increase revenue without constantly just throwing money at ads?
Exactly. I mean, in today's online marketplace, it's so crowded. Just having a great product, well, it's just not enough anymore, is it?
No, definitely not. Standing out, building that loyal customer base, it really takes a strategic approach, a sustainable one. And that's precisely what we're diving into today. Our focus, and we're drawing heavily from insights over at theshopstrategy.com, is on this really powerful combination of content marketing and SEO, specifically for your Shopify store.
Yeah, potent mix.
It really is. And the numbers, they kind of speak for themselves. Stores with active blogs, they see significantly more traffic. We're talking around 55% more website visitors.
Wow, that's substantial.
Isn't it? And e-commerce sites that really leverage content marketing, they can see conversion rates up to 6 times higher.
6 times.
Yeah. And what's more, the ROI, the return on investment, it can be something like 3.5 times greater compared to just relying only on paid ads.
Well, what's really compelling there, I think, is the shift in mindset.
Yeah.
It's moving away from seeing every single interaction as purely transactional.
Right.
It's much more about building a relationship with your potential customers, offering them value before they even think about making a purchase.
Yeah.
And that's where integrating content and SEO smartly really, really shines.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Because as anyone running a Shopify store knows, the competition is just fierce. Millions of merchants out there.
Oh.
So just having a good-looking store, it's like the entry ticket, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't guarantee success at all.
That's spot on.
Yeah.
The ease of setting up shop on Shopify, it means the landscape is, well, more saturated than ever. Customers have endless options thrown at them. So just listing products and kind of hoping for the best, that's just not a viable long-term strategy anymore. Real differentiation, it comes from the added value you provide, the stuff beyond the products themselves.
And that brings us right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Providing value before the sale.
Exactly.
Proactively answering the questions your potential customers have rattling around in their heads. Offering solutions to their problems through genuinely helpful content. That doesn't just build trust, it positions you as like the go-to authority in your niche.
Precisely. And this is where a really well-executed content marketing strategy becomes so incredibly effective. By creating informative, engaging content, you're attracting visitors who aren't just, randomly browsing.
Right.
They're actively seeking information about the problems your products can potentially solve. Now, when you layer SEO strategically on top of that.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. You've made this great content, but how do you make sure the right people actually find it?
Yeah, the discovery piece.
Exactly. That's where SEO, search engine optimization, comes in. It's all about optimizing your content and your store itself so search engines like Google can easily figure out what you offer and show it to people who are actually looking for it.
Exactly right. Think of your content as the fuel for your SEO engine.
Good analogy.
It gives you opportunities to target those relevant keywords, the actual terms your potential customers are typing into Google or Bing, and high-quality informative content. It also naturally attracts backlinks from other websites, which significantly boosts your store's credibility, its authority, in the eyes of those search engines.
And flipping that coin, SEO massively expands the reach of your content. By optimizing your content with those keywords and making sure your Shopify store has a solid technical foundation, you're basically making it much easier for customers to find your valuable info organically, without you having to pay for every single click-through ads.
And what's fascinating is the cycle this creates, right?
Yeah.
It's self-reinforcing. Great content pulls in that initial traffic. And when that content is optimized for search, it just keeps attracting relevant visitors over time, which in turn can really reduce how much you need to rely on those potentially pricey paid advertising channels.
Okay, so we get why this is so beneficial. Less ad spend dependence, potentially higher conversions, all good stuff. But let's dive into the how. The info we're looking at really stresses understanding Shopify's specific SEO environment. It's not quite the same as optimizing, say, a WordPress site, is it?
That's a really crucial distinction to make. Shopify does offer a whole suite of built-in SEO features, which is, frankly, a significant advantage for store owners.
Okay, like what?
Well, for example, it automatically puts in canonical tags. That helps prevent those pesky duplicate content issues that can really confuse search engines.
Ah,
It also auto-generates your sitemap.xml and robots.txt files, basically tells search engines how to crawl and index your store efficiently. Plus, most Shopify themes, they're designed to generate basic title tags automatically, often including your store name. And you've also got integrated options for linking to your social media profiles and enabling sharing, which is handy.
that sounds like a pretty solid starting point, actually. Like Shopify handles some of the more fiddly technical bits right out of the box.
It does provide a good foundation, definitely. And beyond those automated features, Shopify also gives you manual control over several really key SEO elements.
Like editing things yourself.
Exactly. You can edit the title tags and the meta descriptions for all your pages, products, collections, blog posts, everything. You can customize the URLs for products and collections, although there are some structural rules you have to follow.
Okay.
You can add alt text to your product images, super important for image search and accessibility. And you can fully optimize your blog posts with specific keywords and descriptions.
So the essential tools are definitely there, but it really comes down to the store owner, using them strategically with clear goals in mind.
Precisely. Think of those built-in features as the initial setup. The real power of Shopify SEO comes from how thoughtfully you use and build upon those capabilities with a really well-defined content and optimization plan.
Now, the information we're digging into also mentions technical SEO stuff that's kind of unique to Shopify. Things like URL structure. Can you elaborate on that a bit? How does that affect things?
Certainly. So Shopify's platform has a set URL structure it enforces. You can't really change it fundamentally.
Right.
For instance, all your individual product pages will always live under the products path in the URL.
Right.
And your collection pages, they'll always be under collections. Now, you can customize the specific bit that comes after those paths, the handle or slug as it's called.
Okay.
But that base structure, products, collections, that stays the same. And that's just something important to keep in mind when you're planning your overall site architecture, how pages link together, that kind of thing.
Okay, that makes sense. So I can choose a custom name for my new yoga mat URL, like Products Awesome Yoga Mat, but I can't decide to put all my sports stuff under, say, Sports Yoga Mat.
Exactly that. And similarly, the specific theme you choose for your Shopify store, that has a huge impact on critical performance factors.
Like speed.
Like your site's loading speed? Absolutely. And also its mobile responsiveness, how well it looks and works on phones and tablets. These are massive factors not just for user experience, but for SEO too. Search engines heavily prioritize fast, mobile-friendly sites.
Right.
And finally, you really need to carefully plan your navigation and overall site structure within Shopify's framework. Make sure search engines can easily crawl and understand the hierarchy and content of your entire store.
Performance optimization keeps coming up, doesn't it? The info even mentions that just a tiny, 0.1 second improvement in page load speed can lead to an 8% jump in conversions.
It's staggering, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really highlights that direct link between how fast your site is and your actual bottom line. The resources we're looking at emphasize several key areas for performance optimization on Shopify. It starts with effective image compression and optimization. Using the right file formats, making sure images aren't unnecessarily huge, that can make a massive difference to load times.
Okay, images first.
Then, making sure your store is fully mobile responsive, meaning it adapts perfectly to different screen sizes, that's absolutely non-negotiable today.
For sure.
And finally, actively working to improve overall page speed. That means maybe minimizing the number of apps you've installed, especially unnecessary ones. Optimizing your themes code if possible, or choosing a well-coded theme, and leveraging browser caching techniques. It all adds up.
So it sounds like technical SEO on Shopify is kind of a mix, understanding the platform's built-in stuff and its limits, but then actively working to optimize everything you can control, especially performance and user experience.
Precisely. And it's definitely not a set-it-and-forget-it task. It's an ongoing process. Monitoring performance, making tweaks as your store grows, as search engine algorithms evolve. You've got to stay on top of it.
Right. Okay, let's shift gears a bit to something absolutely fundamental for both content marketing and SEO, keyword research. The info we're looking at really hammers home the need to look beyond just the obvious high-volume terms. What does a more strategic approach look like for a Shopify owner?
Yeah, this is crucial. What's really insightful here is the focus on understanding the intent behind the search.
User intent.
Exactly. You're not just grabbing keywords with the highest search volume. You're trying to pinpoint the specific terms that signal a genuine need or a problem or a desire that your products can actually solve. The resources break it down into 4 key categories for e-commerce.
Okay, let's hear them. What's the first one?
First up, product-adjacent keywords. These aren't the direct names of your products. They're terms related to how your products are used, or the specific problems they solve, or the underlying needs they meet.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure. So if you sell, say, ergonomic office chairs, a product-adjacent keyword might be something like how to prevent back pain working from home.
Ah, I see. Someone searching for that isn't necessarily looking for your chair yet, but they're clearly in the market for a solution you might offer.
Exactly. They have the problem your product solves. Second category, buying intent modifiers.
Okay, what are those?
These are words or phrases people add that usually mean they're closer to actually buying something. Think terms like best, top, affordable, review, discount, or comparison words like VS or alternatives.
Right.
Someone searching best affordable noise-canceling headphones is much further down the funnel than someone just searching types of headphones.
Definitely signals higher purchase intent. Okay, what's number 3?
A third is long-tail product queries. These are often longer, very specific phrases. They show the customer has a really clear idea of exactly what they want.
Like super specific.
Yeah, like lightweight, waterproof hiking boots for women, wide fit under $150.
Wow, okay. Those sound incredibly valuable. Maybe lower search volume for that exact phrase.
Right, much lower volume usually.
But the conversion rate for those searches must be way higher because they know exactly what they want.
Absolutely. The intent is crystal clear. And finally, the fourth category is seasonal keyword variations.
Makes sense.
These are terms that spike in popularity at certain times of the year. Think seasonal trends, holidays, your product's peak seasons. If you sell garden furniture, keywords around best patio sets for small balconies will probably surge in spring.
Okay, so it's a much more refined, customer-focused way of doing keyword research, not just grabbing broad terms that might bring in tons of irrelevant traffic.
Precisely.
So how do Shopify owners actually find these more specific, intent-driven keywords? What are the techniques?
Well, the resources suggest using a mix of tools and smart tactics. Using platforms like Ahrefs or SEMrush is incredibly useful for competitor analysis.
Spying on the competition?
Well, seeing what keywords they're ranking for, where they're getting traffic from, and importantly, identifying gaps where you could potentially rank. You should also regularly dig into your Google Search Console data. This literally shows you the actual search queries people are using to find your store right now. You might uncover some real gems you hadn't even thought of.
It's like finding gold in your own backyard.
Kind of, yeah. Another gold mine. Your own customer interactions. Read your product reviews carefully. Look at your FAQs, your customer support tickets. What language are they using to describe your products, their problems, their needs?
Using their actual words.
Exactly, natural language. And finally, spend some time researching relevant industry forums, online communities, maybe relevant subreddits where your target customers hang out. See what questions they're asking, what terms they're using.
So it really boils down to deeply understanding your ideal customer, right? And then using that understanding to guide your keyword research, going beyond the obvious to find those nuanced terms signaling real interest and intent.
Exactly. The goal is finding keywords that match real customer needs and show a clear path towards a potential purchase. This targeted approach means the content you create later will connect with buyers at just the right moment in their journey.
Okay, great. So we've covered the SEO basics. We know how to find the right keywords. Now let's talk about weaving all that into a proper content marketing strategy for a Shopify store. Because the info we're looking at really stresses that this needs to be planned, right? Not just random blog posts.
Absolutely right. A winning content strategy starts with setting really clear, measurable goals and identifying your KPIs, key performance indicators.
Right. What do you actually want to achieve?
Exactly. What's the point of the content? Is it purely driving more organic traffic? Is it about increasing engagement, like time on site? Is it boosting conversions, maybe email signups or actual sales? Or is it more about building brand awareness? You need to define these up front so you can track progress and know if you're actually succeeding.
Makes total sense. You can't know if you've won if you haven't defined the finish line. So what specific metrics should Shopify owners really be watching in this context?
The resources point to several key areas. For traffic generation, you'll watch things like sessions, unique users, your overall organic visibility and search rankings.
Okay.
For engagement, you're looking at metrics like average time on page, bounce rate, though, that needs context, and maybe pages per session.
Right.
For conversions, Obviously, things like email signups, add to carts, and ultimately completed purchases driven by that content.
The money metrics.
The money metrics, yeah. And for brand awareness, you might track social shares of your content, online brand mentions, maybe even the search volume for your actual brand name.
So it's about taking a holistic view, seeing how content impacts the whole customer journey, from discovery to purchase, and maybe even beyond.
Exactly. Now, once you've got your goals and metrics sorted, what's the next absolutely critical step?
Let me guess. Understanding your audience.
You got it. Deep audience research is paramount.
Hmm.
You need to go way beyond basic demographics.
Mm-hmm.
Really try to understand your different customer segments. What are their specific needs, their challenges, pain points, aspirations? Creating detailed buyer personas. These fictional reps of your ideal customers can be incredibly helpful here.
Right, giving them names, backstories.
Yeah, thinking about their motivations, their obstacles, where they like to hang out online, how they prefer to consume information. You also need to map out their typical customer journey.
From awareness to decision.
Exactly. From realizing they have a problem to researching solutions to actually making that purchase. And crucially, identify the questions they have at each stage and the different types of search intent they might have along the way.
It really sounds like putting yourself firmly in your customer's shoes. Empathy is key.
It really is. Understanding what info they need, when they need it, how they're likely to look for it.
Okay.
And the deep understanding of your audience, that's what ultimately helps you spot content gaps.
The opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Areas where your competitors maybe aren't properly addressing the needs and questions of your shared customers. These gaps, they're golden opportunities for you to create unique, valuable content that pulls your ideal customers towards your store.
So it's not just about creating more content, but strategically creating the right content for the right people at the right time.
That's the essence of it. And the resources we're looking at then highlight the huge variety of content types Shopify stores can use effectively.
Yeah.
Blog content is still a cornerstone, obviously, but it can take many forms.
Okay, like what? Give us some examples of blog content that really works for e-commerce.
Sure. You've got straightforward educational articles that align directly with your product categories. So if you sell fancy coffee beans, maybe the ultimate guide to brewing perfect pour-over coffee.
Right, helpful stuff.
Then there are how-to guides, showing people exactly how to use your products or clearly explaining the benefits they get. Sharing industry news and trend analysis can position you as a thought leader in your niche.
Building authority.
Exactly. And don't underestimate customer success stories. They provide powerful social proof. Help potential buyers picture themselves benefiting from your products.
Yeah, those are always compelling. That's a lot just within blogging. But the info also mentioned product-adjacent content. What exactly is that?
Good question. This is content that sort of bridges the gap between someone initially researching a problem and the point where they realize your product might be the solution.
Okay, examples.
Things like comprehensive buying guides for your product categories, how to choose the best running shoes for trail running, also honest comparison content. Maybe comparing your product to alternatives, showing transparency builds huge trust.
Even if you mention competitors.
Sometimes, yeah, if done right. Also, problem solution content that naturally features your products as the fix, and timely, seasonal, or trend-based pieces tapping into what customers are interested in right now.
So it's about anticipating needs and providing helpful, maybe slightly less direct salesy info that guides them towards you.
Exactly. And then we get into the really engaging stuff, visual and interactive content.
Okay, videos, infographics.
Absolutely. Compelling product demonstration videos showing products in action, informative infographics making complex info easy to grasp visually, maybe interactive buying guides, quizzes that help customers figure out which product is right for them.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah, they're great for self-qualification. And user-generated content showcases featuring real photos and testimonials from happy customers using your products. That's gold.
It definitely sounds like a well-rounded strategy, uses a smart mix of these formats. Different people like consuming info differently, right?
Absolutely. And to keep all this creation and distribution organized, the resources really stress using a structured content calendar. This isn't about posting randomly whenever you feel like it.
Right, need a plan. So what are the key things to include in a good content calendar for a Shopify store?
Definitely plan out your seasonal content way ahead of time, holidays, peak shopping seasons. It should also be tightly coordinated with any product launches. Make sure supporting content is ready when new stuff drops.
Makes sense.
Don't forget to schedule in evergreen content, that core, valuable stuff that stays relevant year-round. And crucially, Build in content refresh cycles. Regularly review and update older posts to keep them accurate, fresh, and performing well in search.
Like spring cleaning for your content library?
Kind of, yeah. And what about actually doing the work,
Okay.
creating, publishing?
Yeah, the workflow.
The resources highlight needing clear, efficient workflows. Define who's responsible for what idea generation, writing, editing. Have an editorial review process for quality and brand voice.
Okay.
Schedule publication strategically
Yeah.
based on when your audience is most active online. And importantly, plan how you're going to promote and distribute each piece of content before you publish it.
So it's about building a sustainable system, not just relying on bursts of inspiration that might fizzle out.
Precisely. Even a small team can maintain consistent, impactful content with the right planning and processes in place.
Okay, fantastic. So we've diligently created all this amazing, valuable content. Now we need to make sure it actually gets found. That brings us to on-page SEO optimization. The info breaks this down by page type, starting with individual product pages.
Yes, product pages. These are usually your main conversion points, right? So they need meticulous SEO attention. It really starts with product title optimization.
The headline, basically.
Yeah. You want to naturally weave in your main keyword, include specific details people search for, make it clear, readable, and ideally keep it under about 60 characters so it doesn't get cut off in search results.
Right, that's a tight squeeze sometimes. What about the product descriptions? More room there.
Definitely. Descriptions are prime real estate to blend persuasive copy that sells with valuable SEO content that helps you get found.
How do you balance that?
Use clear headings, use bullet points for readability, naturally work in your main keywords, but also related secondary keywords. Directly address customer pain points and questions. And for really competitive products, consider longer, more detailed descriptions, maybe 500 words or more, to provide comprehensive info and boost ranking potential.
So it's not just listing features, but selling the benefits, answering questions, and being keyword smart.
Exactly. And don't forget the technical bits on product pages. Implementing product schema markup is huge. It helps search engines understand price, availability reviews, and can lead to those richer search results like star ratings showing up.
Ah, rich snippets.
Exactly. Optimizing your product images, descriptive file names, alt tags with keywords is vital for image search and accessibility. Strategically creating internal links from product pages to related products or collections helps users and search engines navigate. And finally, craft unique, compelling meta descriptions for each product. Include keywords, but also a clear call to action to get that click from the search results page.
Wow, it really sounds like every little piece of the product page matters for SEO and conversions. Okay, let's talk collection pages. These target broader category keywords, right? When people are browsing.
That's right. For collection page optimization, you start with the title and description. Make sure you include those relevant category keywords people use when they're just generally looking for women's running shoes or modern coffee tables.
Okay.
Clearly explain the theme or benefit of the products in that collection. Highlight any unique selling points, and consider adding links to relevant sub-collections to help people narrow things down, like linking from shoes to running shoes or hiking boots.
So collection pages act as navigational hubs, guiding people and search engines deeper into the store.
Absolutely. And the structure of collection pages matters too. Organized products logically maybe feature bestsellers or high-margin items first. Ensure you have good filters and sorting options so people can refine the view based on size, color, price, whatever.
Yeah, filters are essential.
Implement clear breadcrumb navigation, home clothing shirts. That helps users and search engines understand the site structure and think strategically about linking between related collections. Well-optimized collection pages can be powerful entry points, catching people early in their buying journey.
Okay, makes sense. And then finally, optimizing the blog content itself. We know it needs to be valuable, but what are the specific SEO considerations for blog posts on Shopify?
Blog content needs its own specific SEO love. Start with keyword-optimized titles and headings, H1, H2s, etc., that clearly signal the topic and value. Aim for comprehensive, in-depth content. The resources suggest maybe 1,000 words or more for substantial posts to really cover the topic well.
Go deep.
Go deep. Strategically use internal links within your blog posts, pointing to relevant product pages or collection pages. This guides readers towards potential purchases. And format for readability, use subheadings, bullet points, short paragraphs. Make it easy to scan and digest.
So easy for Google to understand, easy for humans to read.
Exactly. And for blog-specific technical bits, customize your URLs to include keywords, but keep them short and descriptive. Write compelling meta descriptions for each post to encourage clicks from search results. Optimize all images within the post with keyword-rich alt text. And use a logical tagging and categorization system for your blog to improve site structure and help readers find related content. Remember, your blog attracts new people via search and nurtures your existing audience. Good SEO ensures it does both effectively.
Right. Okay, so we've created this amazing optimized content. Now, how do we actually get eyeballs on it? This brings us to content distribution and promotion. Can't just publish and pray, right?
Absolutely not. Even the best content will just sit there gathering digital dust if you don't actively get it out to your audience. So a proactive distribution and promotion plan is essential to make sure those content investments actually pay off. The resources really push for an omni-channel approach.
Omnichannel. Tell us more about what that looks like for a Shopify store.
Basically, it means strategically using multiple relevant online channels to reach your audience wherever they are. Social media is obviously huge here.
Sure.
But it's not just about blasting links. You need to adapt your content formats for each platform. Short, snappy videos for TikTok or Reels, maybe more in-depth stuff for LinkedIn or Facebook groups. Leverage Shopify's social selling features to make buying seamless. Figure out the best posting times for each platform based on your audience data, and definitely repurpose your core content into different formats optimized for social.
So tailoring the message and format for each channel, not just copy-pasting.
Exactly. Then there's email marketing. This gives you a direct line to your audience. Develop content-driven email campaigns, regular newsletters featuring your best blog posts, useful tips, maybe exclusive insights. Build automated sequences triggered by user actions, like a welcome series with helpful content for new subscribers. And segment your list. Send more targeted content based on interests or past purchases.
Creating this interconnected web where content works for you across different touchpoints.
Exactly. And content is also fantastic for community building and engagement.
How so?
Actively manage and respond to comments on your blog and social posts. Encourage user-generated content, UGC customers, sharing photos with your products. Create Q&A content, answering common questions. Maybe run polls or quizzes for interaction. And explore partnerships and influencer collaborations.
Working with others.
Yeah. Co-create content with complementary brands. Feature guest experts on your blog. Cross-promote content with other non-competing stores that share your audience. It extends your reach significantly.
Turning content into a conversation and building a loyal community. That sounds powerful long-term. Now, what about getting content in front of people who don't already follow you?
That's where active content amplification techniques come in. Strategic paid promotion can give your best organic content a serious boost.
Like boosting posts.
Yeah, boosting high-performing blog posts or social updates. Running retargeting ads to people who visited your site or engaged with past content. Creating lookalike audiences based on your best customers or content consumers. And using seasonal paid promotion to highlight relevant content during peak times.
So using paid ads strategically to accelerate reach and find new relevant audiences. What about non-paid amplification?
On the organic side, a big focus is SEO-driven link building, actively earning high-quality backlinks to your content from other reputable sites.
Guest posting.
Guest posting on relevant industry blogs is a great way. Getting included on resource pages on other sites, maybe even content syndication on relevant platforms. Combining paid and organic amplification creates this positive loop. Initial promotion drives engagement, which signals value to search engines, which boosts organic reach over time.
Okay, brilliant. So we've created, optimized, distributed, amplified. Now, how do we actually know if any of this is working, making a difference? That leads us to measuring and optimizing performance.
Exactly. Without tracking results and analyzing data, you're just guessing, right?
Yeah.
Implementing robust analytics and performance tracking is absolutely essential. You need to understand what content resonates, what drives engagement and conversions, and what needs improving.
What should we be tracking?
Key metrics like website traffic sources, engagement rates, time on page, bounce rate, pages per session, conversion rates for your defined goals, signups, sales, and SEO performance keyword rankings, organic impressions, click-through rates from search.
And what tools should Shopify owners use for this?
Well, Shopify has its own basic analytics dashboard, which is useful for e-commerce specifics. But you absolutely need to integrate Google Analytics for deeper user behavior analysis. Google Search Console is non-negotiable for understanding your Google search performance, finding errors, seeing search queries, and maybe third-party tools like Hotjar for heat maps and session recordings can offer visual insights. The crucial thing is always connecting these metrics back to your actual business goals. Don't get lost in vanity metrics like just page views if they're not leading to actual business value,
Right. Focus on metrics that matter for the bottom line. So once you have the data flowing in, what do you do with it?
You need a clear content optimization framework. This means doing regular content audits.
Like a checkup.
Exactly. Systematically review your content library. Identify your winners, the stuff driving results, and your losers, the stuff that's falling flat. Look for content gaps, topics you haven't covered. Benchmark your performance against competitors. Analyze seasonal trends in your data.
Finding out what's working, what's not, and why.
Precisely. Then use those insights to drive refinement. A/B test things, headlines, calls to action, even content formats. Update and refresh underperforming content, add more info, target keywords better, improve presentation, expand on your top-performing topics, create related content, go deeper, and develop efficient content repurposing strategies, turn blog posts into videos, infographics, social snippets, get more value from successful pieces. It's a continuous cycle. Measure, analyze, optimize, repeat.
An ongoing loop of learning and improving based on data. Now, as a store grows, how do they scale these efforts without getting totally swamped?
Scaling content success requires smart resource optimization and planning for growth. Look for ways to improve production efficiency, maybe content templates, streamline workflows. Evaluate outsourcing versus in-house for different tasks based on budget and expertise.
Okay.
Develop really efficient repurposing workflows to maximize the value of every piece. Explore automation tools for scheduling, maybe even some aspects of content management, freeing up your team for strategy.
Working smarter, basically.
Exactly. And develop a growth-focused content plan. Think about expanding into new content areas or formats. Consider international or localized content if relevant. Focus on building long-term content assets that deliver value over time, not just short-term hits. The goal is a sustainable content engine that gets more efficient as your business matures.
It's definitely a long game, isn't it? But one with potentially huge, sustainable payoffs. Okay, looking ahead now, the resources also touch on some advanced strategies and future trends in content and SEO. What should Shopify owners be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, the landscape never stops changing, does it? Staying informed is key. We're seeing a big rise in emerging content formats, offering more interactive, immersive experiences.
Like what?
Think shoppable content buying directly within an article or video. AR and VR product visualizations, letting people virtually try on clothes or see furniture in their room. Interactive buying guides or quizzes that personalize recommendations. And dynamically personalized content experiences based on user behavior.
Making it much more engaging and tailored. Sounds powerful.
It really is. And video and multimedia just continue to explode. Short-form video for social, live shopping events, blending entertainment and commerce, detailed product tutorials. Authentic behind-the-scenes stuff builds trust. These often need more resources, sure, but the engagement potential is massive.
Video feels almost essential now. What other big trends are coming?
Well, the elephant in the room, AI and automation.
Right.
It's increasingly influencing content creation and SEO. AI tools can help with idea generation, research, even drafting initial content or product descriptions at scale. Automated tools can suggest SEO or readability improvements. Predictive tools are getting better at forecasting trends or keyword opportunities.
Should creators be worried?
I think the key is seeing AI as a powerful assistant, not a replacement. It can handle routine tasks, analyze data, free up humans for the strategic thinking, the creativity, the empathy stuff AI can't replicate well yet. It's about blending AI efficiency with human insight.
Okay, using it as a tool to enhance, not replace. Finally, how do store owners best future-proof their strategies in this shifting landscape?
Future-proofing is about continuous learning and adaptability. Stay on top of search algorithm changes, things like Google's core web vitals, measuring user experience.
Wow.
Embrace EEAT experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness in all your content. Show your knowledge. Build credibility.
Right.
Optimize for voice search. Create conversational content, answering specific questions. And keep prioritizing mobile-first design and content. So much happens on mobile now.
So the fundamentals still matter: quality, user focus, adapting to how people search.
Exactly. And with privacy being such a huge focus now, you need to adapt. Develop strong first-party data strategies, offer real value for people to share their info willingly. Explore privacy-first personalization that doesn't rely on third-party cookies. Build direct audience relationships through email and community. Foster community-driven content. Stores that see these changes as opportunities to build more genuine, value-driven, privacy-respecting relationships through great content. They're the ones who will thrive.
Wow. This has been an incredibly thorough deep dive. Thank you. The main takeaway for me is just how powerful that combination of strategic content marketing and smart SEO really is for Shopify stores.
Hmm.
It seems like the path to attracting consistent, qualified customers, driving sustainable growth, and building a more resilient business without just being chained to ad spend.
That sums it up perfectly. It's definitely not a quick fix, is it? It's
Yeah.
an ongoing strategic effort. But when you do it effectively and consistently, the potential to boost visibility, build real trust and engagement, increase sales, improve loyalty, it's huge for long-term success.
Absolutely. Thanks so much again for breaking all that down for us. And for all of you listening, we really hope you found this deep dive super valuable and, more importantly, actionable for your own Shopify store.
Hope so.
So here's a little challenge for you as you think about your store. Identify just one immediate action you can take based on everything we've discussed today to start improving your store's visibility. What's one small step you can commit to right now to begin leveraging this power of content and SEO? Mull that over this week.
Good challenge. Until our next deep dive, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep optimizing your Shopify store for success.
And remember, this episode of Shock Strategy was powered by Growth Suite. Growth Suite offers a whole range of powerful features to help you grow, including running those smart automated discount campaigns we mentioned, which can really help increase sales and customer engagement. Plus, it gives you valuable analytics to understand your customers better and fine-tune your marketing. You can test out Growth Suite and all its unique benefits completely free on your Shopify store. Definitely worth checking out. Thanks for listening.